Welcome back to the Movieverse, your best source for movie and TV show content. I am your co-host, Benji Babe, Benji Boo Thang. BMT. This is your other co-host, Kendrick, a.k.a. Kendrick Lamar.
Lamar. Not the rapper, though.
Lemur.
Yeah.
Yeah, not the rapper. He doesn't rap at all.
No.
We are in for a great episode today, guys. We're going to be talking about Frankenstein. Had a minimal release in theaters, and they have expanded
Netflix
that
too?
release. So if you do want to go see that in theaters, now is the time before it comes out on Netflix. It should be dropping on Netflix this Friday. So if you don't get to see it in theaters, you'll hear our thoughts on it and see whether you want to check it out on Netflix coming this Friday.
Yes, sir.
As always, before we get started, make sure you like, subscribe, follow, comment. You can always comment things that you want us to talk about, things you want to hear our thoughts on.
How we're wrong. How we're right.
How we're right. Any of that. Anything. Any activities you want us to do.
Once it's appropriate and nice, okay?
It's true. Don't comment inappropriate things.
Keep it nice.
Keep it PG or PG-13. Maybe R, depending on the topic. Anyways. As always, when we do our full movie review, we're doing that on Frankenstein. We're going to be giving about a 10 to 15 minute review of our thoughts on the movie. We'll be talking about what we liked, what we're mixed on, what we didn't like. Then we'll give you our score, our ranking on the year, where it falls, review our top 10 on the year, and we will tell you whether we recommend it or not. We will also then go into our big question every week that we ask.
The big question.
Does this movie earn a place in the Movieverse timeline, or should it be forgotten, placed on a really, really, really dusty shelf, like the one from Interstellar?
Like Elf on the Shelf.
Touched? No, Elf on the Shelf is like a good thing, you know? This is like a bad thing, right? You know?
Yeah.
So,
it's like your dad's old records.
Yeah, totally like that. Sometimes they're gems, though. So, maybe we say something isn't good and it should be, let us know.
Yeah.
But we will tell you our thoughts on whether it should be forgotten or kept. And then from there, that's about it. Anything else there?
Just check us out on TikTok, Instagram, X.
All of them.
Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you get your audio podcasts from. Check us out on all of them.
There you go. I love it. Let's get into our review of Frankenstein, the Halloween movie of the year, you could say, although it's weird that they were having it come out on November 7th instead of Halloween.
Yeah.
I'm glad
doesn't make sense.
The movie release in theaters, though, that they
was before Halloween.
To do was before Halloween, so that's good.
Thank goodness.
Because we got to see it the night before Halloween, and I think that was pretty sick, to be honest.
Yeah, it was.
Obviously, this is a adaptation or a topic that some people are really near and dear to. A lot of people love this whole universe. Mary
Shelley's Frankenstein is a very popular book from back in the day. It's a classic, one of the most popular books of all time. And this is just another adaptation of that story, which there's been many.
Exactly, and that's what I was going to say, is there's been a lot of adaptations.
Yeah.
So where does this adaptation fall? Is this a good one, or is this just another one of the ones that are out there that's going to be forgotten and some people watch it kind of thing? That's what we're going to be going over.
We'll talk about it.
Now, this is Guillermo Del Toro's movie, and he is a really, really, really good director.
Yeah.
You got a great cast here in Oscar Isaac, Jacob Elordi, Mia
Goth,
a couple others.
Stuff Waltz.
Yes, that's the one I was trying to think of. So great cast here. The movie is obviously about, just to give you a little synopsis, Frankenstein, this doctor who is very, very into the human body and science behind the human body. And from when he was a kid, he's always wanted to kind of find a way to create life in a way. Till eventually one day, as you guys already know, because this is a very popular story, he creates the monster. So this dives into humanity. What is humanity? Ethics.
Science fiction.
All that kind of stuff. Science fiction. It's got everything. So let's start off with what we liked about the movie. Kendrick, why don't you go first?
I will say, I think my favorite thing about this movie is it's a more humanity side of the monster.
Yeah.
I know everyone thinks the monster is Frankenstein. But yes, the monster, it's a way more humanity side approach that compared to other projects. Like, I mean, we always think the classic that the monster is called Frankenstein. We think that he's green, he's got the screws, black hair, that sort of thing, and electricity makes him come alive, And I like how this really gives kind of a more human side to the monster, where you're honestly just seeing someone wanting to be accepted, and you're wanting to see someone. I mean, you're seeing someone with a good heart. You're seeing someone with Honestly, just being treated unfairly for being different. And I think that's the best theme of the movie. And I think Guillermo Del Toro really wanted to emphasize that in this film. And so you really do get like a whole, I mean, you literally get a whole section of the monster's perspective and story. And I think that's actually really sick. A lot of the times we kind of just go run of the mill, Frankenstein creates the monster,
just
blah, blah,
the sci-fi aspect.
Yeah, just the horror, spooky aspect. And this was more like, now let's dive into the humanity of it all. And I think
gives all that other stuff, but
it
just
does.
a good mix.
It's a good mix. And I think it does it good at like pulling the right aspects from the story, but also doing its own things with it. I really dove deep into what was different in each and stuff. And I still think that Guillermo Del Toro does a really faithful adaptation, but also throws in things that I think add to it. And there's little things, but they make the difference. So there's that. I think production is really, really good.
Can I ask you a question before you get into the rest of the stuff you like?
Yeah.
Just specifically about what you said, because you've studied in more than I have about the adaptations and the original book and the story and everything like that. Would you say this is probably one of the most faithful adaptations in a movie to that book?
I would say so. Yeah. I would say, if not the most.
Because of the humanity side of it? Is that the biggest
I think
thing?
so. I think the book gets at that too, for sure. I think like that is the point of the book too, is to kind of show that and show how the monster just wants to honestly like have a companion and be viewed normally and stuff.
But I think culturally, especially for somebody like me, and there's many people out there like this that maybe don't know a whole lot about the whole lore of it. They just look at the monster. One, like you said, there's common misconception that the monster's Frankenstein. So even there, like, I think there's a lot of misconceptions about this story.
Yeah, it's funny how that happened.
Well, I just think it's because a lot of people just know the monster.
Yeah.
And they associate the name Frankenstein with it.
Scary monster.
And I think a lot of people just don't know the lore behind it. So, like, we've always looked at that. That's why people dress up as him as a villain, There's
probably a lot of people that don't even know there's a book, to be honest.
And I don't think a lot of people genuinely really realize how much the story is about him actually being, like, the protagonist rather than the antagonist. And and I think some of the adaptations that have even been done do side more with I think they still do try to show that he's like kind of the protagonist, but they don't do it as well or as much, right?
Yeah. I think there's one adaptation where literally like the monster is just evil, like pure evil, like the whole movie, like just killing people left and right. And I don't think the story is supposed to be that. It's supposed to be a lot about Frankenstein and the monster like clashing and their relationship with how like the how Frankenstein doesn't care about the monster and things like that, which this nailed.
So I'm glad you did that because I think a lot of people would be curious about that. So that's why I wanted to ask you. I do think that's a big thing that this movie does really, really,
it does
well.
Yeah, I mean it's the whole crux of the movie. I think that's what he wanted to really nail on. But yeah, production looks great. Like I think any visual you see of the projects and of what Frankenstein is creating and kind of the old vibe with it and everything. Like, production is really, really good. And I think there's moments in here where it's like it looked great in theaters. I think it'll still look good on TVs at home, but looks better in theaters.
Especially in theaters. That's
music,
why go check it out.
Music and sound design was great. Like the music's actually pretty amazing.
It is.
It's kind of an underrated score. I don't know if anyone talked about it, but it was a really good score.
I'm glad you said that.
And then acting is great, of course. I mean, Oscar Isaac is an amazing actor. We know that. I've never seen him miss. Yeah, he's never missed. And then Christoph Waltz is always good, and then Mia Goth's always great too. And then Jacob Elordi. Yeah, Jacob Elordi is a standout, and I think he played a great Frankenstein. And he was good for this specific adaptation. Even the way he's visually designed and everything is very different from what you would think. Like you probably wouldn't even think that's a Frankenstein story if you just looked at him. But I think they did really good at making him a kind of menacing creature, but also being a really tall, built guy. And even the way he acts, the emotions and stuff is really, really good. It's not dopey. It's like really... It's got heart to it.
It's more of a human thing.
It's very human.
They try to blend him looking like a monster and like inhumane with him being a creature, like a human creature.
Yes.
They try to blend all that together, and I think that's what they do really well.
Yeah.
He does look disgusting and disturbing.
Yeah.
He does look different. But at the same time, on the inside, he's the same as all of us. He's somebody that learns. He's somebody that has feelings, has emotions. And I think that's what this movie, again, like you said, I think what it does well is that's what it gives you in the story, and that's what it hits on.
So those are my favorite things. What did you like?
Completely gonna ditto the humanity thing. I think that's what makes this movie actually something I would rewatch, is that it's something that actually has like it's not just this horror schlop film where you're getting a monster and it's, one of those classic, slasher type movies or anything like that. I think that this is a movie that just actually has a story to tell about humanity and about how we treat each other. I think it's funny because it's literally about a monster, right? The monster, quote unquote. But from what you've said and what I've studied on, that's what the book was originally about.
Yes.
And that's what it was meant to get across, is this idea
Totally.
of like somebody that as a society we would look at and say, they're not like us.
Yeah.
They're not human. They're not like us. They're different, and we don't like them. They're scary.
Yes.
Which you could apply in so many different ways to society, right?
100%.
Like tons of ways, racism, like all this different
Yeah.
stuff you could apply this message to. And I think that's why it works so well, and that's also why the book does that well, because it's something about a monster that's sci-fi, but has this really cool story to tell and a really good narrative and message to tell at the same time, because you end up learning throughout the film. Like, one of my favorite lines in the movie and one of my favorite narratives is that Oscar Isaac has a conflict with Mia Goth's character, because Oscar Isaac is like, no, he's not learning anything. He's only learned one word. He's not learning anything.
He only says my name.
Yeah, and so he, in Oscar Isaac's mind, he just literally looks at this creature
like
as
it's
a monster.
Yeah, he's like, it's just dumb.
It's just dumb.
He's like, it doesn't know anything.
But when somebody like Mia Goth gives him love, affection, time, and attention, what happens? He starts to grow and learn.
Yeah.
So that's a whole nother narrative in and of itself.
Which is cool.
Of like how we treat each other really does affect our development.
Yeah,
how we
100%.
grow. And you see that in this movie. He all of a sudden learns a new word, and it's her name because she's affecting him. I think that also tells another narrative of like, he remembered one name for one reason and another name for a totally different reason. He associated, and that's why the names were so important to him, was because those are different. Those people reflect on different struggles he's having.
Yeah.
Oscar Isaac, when he says Frankenstein, it's like hurt and pain and anguish. When he says Elizabeth, it's love, affection, hope, right? You get these
it's like Victor.
And then you see with Mia Goth's attention to him and how she helps him see himself in a different light, he then grows into a being, like an actual individual. And then Oscar Isaac is super shocked by this. So that's what this movie does extremely well, is it gives you an actual character rather than just a monster. So that's what I loved most about it, and I would agree with you on that. And then production is phenomenal. Guillermo Del Toro always kills it when it comes to creating a film. He is the type of director, which is why it's surprising that he's signed on with Netflix. But he's just that director that you relate his name with like production. You relate it with cool design, costumes, cool atmosphere, cool camera shots. You would just relate his name with really authentic filmmaking. It's very authentic,
which is awesome.
And he does that so well. And in this movie, from the very first scene, before it slows down a little bit, you're just getting this amazing production. Like, it just looks great, and you're thrown into this world that you're really intrigued by. And that's something he just does so well. So, and then, I'm glad you brought up the score. Obviously, score, as you watch us more and more, that's something that's big for both of us. Something I really, really tie to is the music and the production of a film. And so I loved the score as well, and it probably won't get talked about much.
Probably not, but it was great.
And then, let's go ahead and move into things that we're mixed on. Do you want to go first?
Yeah. I don't know if there's anything I feel too mixed on. I mean, I think I'm a little mixed on maybe a little bit of the look of Jacob Elordi's monster. I think I like some of it and some of it I don't.
Okay. That's interesting.
It's really mixed 50-50 for me. I love how he does look more human and stuff, but I still think I could have used a little more creature-esque things about him. Didn't feel that too much. I think he could have been a little grosser. And I think I get it because he does do good with the humanity part, so I like that. But then I could have used a little more like, he almost doesn't look like that weird of a guy, to be honest.
I feel like when his clothes are off at the beginning, he does.
At the beginning, yeah. And once he has hair and clothes, it's kind of like, he just looks like kind of a normal dude. So I would have liked for him to be a little more monstrous, not too much to where it takes out the humanity, but that's something I'm mixed on. I don't know how everyone else, I haven't heard anyone else talk about how he looks in it, but that's my view. So I'm kind of 50-50 on that. Okay. And then I think as far as looking at what other people could be mixed on, I mean, I think you should have to know that it's not going to be a slasher horror film necessarily.
It gives you its action moments. It does.
I call it more philosophical, more moral ethics talk than it is a horror scary film.
Like 75% of the film is your character driven dialogue and character
the themes
driven plot. 25% of your film is action, which is so cool. Which is cool. And when it gives it to you, it's crazy.
It is great when it happens. But yeah, some people might go, "Oh, I feel like that wasn't that much
or-
of a scary movie or something," and
Yeah,
it's not trying to be that.
it's not trying to be scary.
But it's still fun for Halloween. I feel like it's a fun vibe, and just even dealing with bringing dead bodies to life and stuff. It has enough of it, I think, to be a vibe. But
I think that is important though, that you could be mixed on if you're going into this expecting some like really spooky, like
classic
electricity-driven movie. Like it's not that. Like it is a character movie for sure.
It is, and so yeah, I should have to know that going into it. But I think that's all for mixed for me. Anything you're mixed on?
Yeah, my main mixed is how the story is told. I do like basically every scene we get in this movie. But a common problem I have with movies, especially movies that are some like a director's passion project. This is something Guillermo Del Toro has been talking about doing for a long time. I feel like when directors are doing these types of projects, they can get caught up in including a little too much of everything, every scene that they film and stuff. And obviously, I don't know what he cut out or like how he edited this film, but there is still too much here and needed to be trimmed down a little bit. Specifically
Agreed.
with Frankenstein's story before the monsters end of it, there's a little too. That's the only time I felt the length of the movie, and it's what docks the score down for me, which you'll hear in a second. But there is a good chunk of time after the first 20 minutes, between probably the 20-minute mark and like the hour 20-minute mark, like a good 50 minutes, where it is about Frankenstein developing the monster. And I feel like in that time frame, there's just moments, because it's so much dialogue and character-driven stuff without action, and you get so much action in the first 15-20 minutes. I think because of that, you start to feel the runtime a little bit. And that's my only mixed thing. And the reason I mixed on it is because, and it'll probably be in my didn't like category too, but I am mixed on it because I liked every scene we got. There wasn't a scene where I was like, I don't like that scene, because it's so well acted, so well shot, and every scene has like a meaning and a purpose.
Yeah.
It's just one of those things where, as the director, your job is to sit there and say, okay, what scenes could I cut out or trim down to make this flow a little bit better? That's not the viewer's job, because as a viewer, I don't know. Like, I'm watching this and I'm like, I like every scene, I just don't know what I'd trim out.
Yeah.
The director, that's your job,
It's true.
editing through it, to say like, yeah, these are great scenes, but I need to trim this down a little bit here. I need to take this out here. It still gets the rest across, still gets us through the story, but it moves us a little quicker. That's my only thing. The monster, like, I was a little mixed on, not 50-50. I'd probably like 75-25. Like, I actually love his design a ton, but I wanted a little bit more close up with his body, like a little bit more showing. Because when you do get the close-up, especially as they're building him, it's disgusting.
True.
It's disturbing. The building and the creation of Frankenstein is dope, like peak, like super well done. Because they do it in such a humane way, but in such a grotesque way. Like, 'cause it's super, it's naturally, it's disgusting what they're doing.
It is.
But they do all of that really well. Once you get Frankenstein fully built and he's alive, I feel like a lot of the shots you get of him, even without the clothing, it is still good. But you're not getting these tons of close-up shots except for his face. Like, I wanted to see more of the body, because you got all these pieces of muscle and tissue that are attached together from other human bodies and stuff. Like, I want more of that grotesque element shown as he's alive.
Yeah.
To feel more of the monster vibe. So I do agree with you on it, just not maybe quite as extreme, because I still like the overall idea of his design.
Yeah.
I just needed a little bit more showcased once he's alive. Because, once you do get to him later in the movie, he's clothed, he's more of like a human character.
Yeah.
And you're not seeing as much besides his face. And I love the way his face looks, but again, you're just missing some of that classic monster element.
Yes.
So I mixed on that too, just a little bit less than you.
Yeah.
As far as didn't liked, really, again, it's just going to go back to this. My only dock on the score is how the story's told. There's just moments where I felt the runtime, moments where I felt the length. And really, the third act is pretty peak and perfect, and the first 15 minutes are super dope. It's really just that time frame of us spending in Frankenstein's world developing the monster that I had my issues with and wish it was shortened. And wish I felt more of a flow, because it is something that when I'm watching it again or I'm showing people it, that's like the portion of the movie that I'm going to be concerned about myself or others losing focus, if that makes sense. And that's what drops my score down from being close to a really top tier film to being a really good film, really, really solid film, great film, if that makes sense. So that's mine.
I mean, I agree mostly. Like, I think I will agree on the mix aspect of like the story in general. Like it's like I did love every scene. I do think pacing could be better. So when it comes to dislike, I agree. It's that first section. It's Frankenstein's tale because it's split up into Frankenstein and the monster's tale. And Frankenstein's tale, I think, it could have been shaved off. I think like we could shave off easily like 15 to 20 minutes of the movie just to get it going a little more because like
that's really all I'm needing too. It's not that much.
Yeah, because Frankenstein and the monsters, like I like the monsters tale more than I like Frankenstein's. Like I think Frankenstein's we took a little too much time. We didn't have to get into all that. I think honestly, you could still hit the beats without doing that much in depth as you do.
It honestly might take when I think about it more, it might take away a little bit from our time with the Frankenstein line. I think his tale. And this, when we're saying this, it's not like they're going back, because I hate when movies do this. They're not going back to the beginning and then retelling it from a different perspective. It's not that. Like, it is a continuous story. You're just seeing a portion from Frankenstein.
Yes. Just perspectives.
Monster created and then monster. So
yes. But yeah, it's like Victor, we get full on, like you pretty much get an entire story of his. And
childhood.
I do like the beats for sure, and I think they should all still be in there, but it's like it could be paced better. And I agree, that's like the section where it's like kind of easy to lose interest, and then you're kind of just waiting for the monster to be built. Once he's built, I feel like the rest of the story from there on out is obviously really entertaining and awesome to see. So when our themes get fleshed out, everything like that. But it's
honestly smoother transitioning from part to part. I did feel a little awkwardness whenever I transitioned from a part to another.
A little on the nose, because monster shows up and he's like, "Here's my tale," and then it's like starts, so
it is very on the nose.
It's like I'm gonna narrate this for you. So that's kind of interesting.
They could have done a smoother transition.
I agree. So yeah, I mean that's about it. I think there's just some pacing a little bit wrong there, and I think we can make it shorter. But besides that, I mean there's a lot I loved. So
yeah. Let's go into our scores. So I think both of us were the same on this one.
Yeah.
I'm at a 4 out of 5. For me, it's probably like a little bit above a 4. Probably like 4.1 or 4.2. But yeah, really, really solid movie. Great movie. Because it has enough that I really love about it, it's sitting there at a good score. I wouldn't be surprised with anybody giving it a 3.5 if they're not enjoying the character element as much. Mm-hmm. But I also could see some people giving this a 4.5. Like I do think it's got a good amount of stuff there. So for me, it's right on a 4.1.
Cool. Yeah, I give it a 4 out of 5. I've seen it twice now. Both times were 4 out of 5. So there's a lot I like about it with that.
And did you get to see it with your dad today?
I did, yeah.
That's cool. What did he think?
I liked it a lot. Yeah. So I think, I'm somewhere around there with that. I think I was debating 4.5. It's like honestly, I wouldn't be upset with the 4.5 if I ever gave it that.
I want to give it that.
So,
honestly, on a second watch, I could come close.
Yeah, it's just not quite there for me, but it's still very enjoyable. I'd happily rewatch it. It was really entertaining. Does a lot of things great. So,
to be honest, like it's something I would watch as it comes out on Netflix again.
Like, because I think it could be like a yearly watch for me or something.
Yeah. Let's go now into our top 10 of the year and where this ranks in our year. So I've seen 101 films this year as of right now. 101 film new releases. Frankenstein specifically out of 101 is at 21. So
nice,
very high marks here.
That is high.
Frankenstein. Out of 101 films, 21. So it's in the top quarter. Love it a lot. So.
Let's go. For me, I've seen
close to 70 now, right?
Yeah, I think close to 70. 66, and I have Frankenstein at 20.
There you go.
So
love it. I think we have
almost
same
placement.
amount of films in front of it. So
yeah, we do. So that's pretty dang good. I mean, especially for a movie that's going to be a Netflix original. Technically, this is great. Exactly.
So. Does this movie earn a place in the movie multiverse, or should we place it on a forgotten shelf? I think you could probably guess for both of us. I'll say mine first. It is placed in my movieverse timeline. This is a monster movie that I will go back to. It's definitely one I loved. It's definitely one like I said, I would go back to watch again. So
it's in my movie multiverse as well. I would not forget about it. And let's throw it in that movie monster multiverse, if you know what I mean.
No, for sure. Go check it out. It's in theaters right now, still showing, but we'll be moving to Netflix.
Yeah. And if you don't catch it in theaters, still watch it on Netflix. Yes. I'd still recommend it.
Fun, especially if it's something you're looking forward to.
Yes,
for sure. But yeah, there's our movie, full movie review of the week. Comment anything. Let us know. Let us know if
you liked it. Let us know if you hated it.
Exactly. Next up, we'll be posting our binge report of the week as well, where we talk about what we've been watching, TV shows, movies, new releases, that kind of stuff. Make sure you watch that video as well.